Kalvin Phillips cuts inside, plays the ball into Sterling. Sterling scores for England! Oh, that's right. It's Lions Den. That's right, Lions Den Connected by EE is back, and I know you're used to these outrageous entrances from some of the players, coming out from the top of the roof, jumping out from the back. But today, this man has covered enough miles to last him a lifetime. It's the one and only Yorkshire Peerlo. It's Kalvin Phillips. What's happening, son?
You good?
I'm surprised there's not 2, 3, 4 of you in there, because yesterday I could have sworn there was 3 of you on the pitch.
Nah, obviously, you know, obviously everyone's saying that I played well and stuff like that, but...
Don't be shy. Everyone's saying you played well. What's down there? What's that?
No.
Everyone's saying I played well. Of course you played well.
There's a little trophy down there for after man of the match. But yeah, man, I'm just happy to obviously be playing and, you know, to win the first game as well. I'm buzzing.
Seriously though, like first major tournament at Wembley, fans in the stadium, get an assist. We get the perfect start to a tournament. Like, how does that feel?
Just mad. You can't really put it into words. At the time, you know, when I was running forward with the ball, I can't remember doing it. I can just remember getting the walks, passing me a ball, and then everything else after that was a blur. As soon as the ball at the back of the net, obviously, the crowd went mental, and, you know, it was my mum's birthday the day before that day, and she was literally, when we celebrated, she was literally right at the front at that side, so I just felt like I was just celebrating with her as well. So
it's crazy how, like, these things seem to work out like that. Like, these amazing moments happen, and you look up and what, 22,000 yesterday, and there's just your family there, your mum's there. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, it was weird. I had a mad feeling before the game that I'd maybe score. I was telling, you know, Ben White that I have a feeling that I'm going to score, and then obviously I came close to scoring, but then obviously if I wasn't going to score, then, you know, I'll try to set one up.
You came close twice.
Yeah, no.
What were your thoughts going through your head at that moment? Because you had the volley, and you had, when you cut inside, you whipped it left. But like, what are the thoughts going? Oh, surely it's not my day today. Yeah,
you know, it was the first one. The ball was in the air for such a long time, so I was just thinking if I keep it down and get on target, then, you know, hopefully it'll go in. And it went through a couple of people's legs, and I was just hoping for that, you know, one little nick.
You just want a nick, yeah.
Yeah, and then the second one, it was a foul, but.
Debatable whether it is. It's debatable whether it is.
As a whistle went, I was just thinking I'm just gonna have a shot here, and then actually it quite sweet from my left foot as well.
I'm about to say that's one of them ones where a lot of the time you see it skew off to the left, skew off to the right. It's in rows in, and when it comes off your foot that clean, you're thinking, oh, this really might go in. With that, the last tournament, you watch with your mates in your house.
Yeah.
Now you get an assist. You've got the trophy there. Go and give us a little look at the trophy, because it's not every day you get to see one of these. BT player of the match. Just explain to the people at home exactly how heavy they can't.
Mate,
it is like a brick.
Heavy. It's about, I think it's about 15 kilograms. It's like a dumbbell.
Joe, you worked hard enough yesterday. We don't need you doing two. We don't need you doing too many more bicep curls.
I'll just leave it there.
I know you mentioned on the Official England podcast that you used to have a proper setup at home. You used to paint the side of your house.
Yeah, so when I was younger, when I lived with my brothers and sisters and my mum used to make it extra special because she knew that we love football, and we used to get big flags on the windows, and then there was times where, you know, I'd come home from school and my mum would have ladders up to the front of the house and she'd be painting an England flag on the house.
Has anyone painted your gaff at home now?
Nah, I won't let them do that now. Yeah, because it's only my missus that's in there now, and...
So you're not going to get her on top of the ladder
Nah,
St. George?
Nah, she's just happy to do all the inside of the house.
All right, so you still got a nice setup in the gaff?
Yeah.
100%. We're talking of nice setups. We have a poll every single episode, right? And we get the fans at home to vote on a certain thing. And the fans at home are going to be voting on who has the best match day setup. OK, I want you to take a look. Because first off, we have James Evans. That is, I don't think you could ever have too many flags. If we look back here, I mean, it's the gazebo, rain or shine.
Yeah.
The TV's out there.
Yeah.
How many people you can get in there? What, 6, 7 people?
Yeah,
a few bits.
definitely.
The only thing it's missing is a beer cooler. That's potentially the only thing that I can... not that I'm going to influence the fans at home. But see, this is what I'm talking about. Beers on chill, #LionsDen. Rich Allen. I don't know if the paddling pool is for like cooling off, celebrations, or it's just a massive ice bucket.
It's got to be for celebrations, and if we score,
it's got to be, yeah. You belly flop into the pool. Is that the next celebration for you if you score? And obviously we've got Gemma baggies, ready in Kidderminster. The wall charts up there. We've got the Cross of St George tablecloth, a bit of bunting. You know, we've got a bit of bunting on the stairs as well. You know, maybe we're going to put our own little setup in in it as well. But this is sensational. And I think what's coming next is option D. That's Louis Roberts. Oh wow! You know what I mean? You've got not only have you got the flags, you've got the gazebo, you've got the speakers out, you've got some wigs.
Yeah.
You'd spend too long on your hair to be worrying about the wig now. We'll leave that behind. But what we're going to want is you guys at home to vote on who you think has the best match day setup. And the winner will be announced at the end of the show. And we'll win this Trip signed shirt from our departure show. You do not want to miss out on this, OK? So the best match day setup. Cal, we're going to have to get maybe a little video from your gaff to see what people in your house are working with.
Yeah, you can try it. Definitely.
Right, we've got A, James, B, Rich, C, Gemma, and D, Louis, OK? So make sure you get your votes in before the end of the show. Calv, what was your favourite?
I like the ones with all the wigs in that.
OK.
The wigs, the balloons,
yeah, you like Louis?
The flags.
I would have thought you'd have liked the paddling pool.
I didn't mind the paddling pool, but I think, you know, if it starts raining, then what are you going to do, you know what I mean?
Fair play. Let's get back to football. Let's get back to yesterday's match. What the fans at home, what I want to know is, what's Gareth saying in those moments before you walk out of Wembley?
Just near enough what he says before every game. Obviously, he knows that this game was, you know, a big game, a special game for all of us, and there was a lot of players there that are there for the first time. And we just try to encourage us. Obviously, he has a belief in every single player that he's chosen in the squad, and just giving us confidence to go out there and play the way that we did.
You misplaced just, I think, 2 of 33 passes, like 94% pass accuracy. Like, these are numbers that you dream of. These are like gaming numbers. You know what I mean? If you have an unbelievable game at home, you're sitting there with a headset on. Like, that's what you expect. You're not in your first major tournament game against a team that's almost like our bogey team.
Yeah. I don't even think of it like that, to be honest. I just think, you know, whenever I get a chance to be on the ball, I just think to myself, don't give away.
Yeah.
Is he a pass that I can play forward? If not, then try and give it to somebody else that's in a better position. And I think, you know, even though I did have 94% pass accuracy, you know, my teammates helped me out a lot, and that's how it happened.
100%. Well, we've got some fan questions coming in from Jay Wallace, who's asked, how does it feel to play next to Declan Rice in centre mid?
Yeah, it's good. You know, Declan's a great player. He's very energetic. He's a very good lad as well, and I feel like, you know, since I've been coming here, he's one of the people that I've got on with the most. He's a very friendly guy, and, you know, he's doing well. He's only young as well. He's younger than me, and for him to be doing so well at such a young age is unbelievable. And, you know, I feel like yesterday's game, you know, it showed that, you know, obviously there's a competition between everybody in the squad, but, you know, we can also play together as well as compete together as well.
For sure, there was some. I mean, the level of pressure and the level of intensity that England were playing with is always going to be hard to keep up for the full 90. But on 85 minutes, I couldn't believe I was rubbing my eyes, thinking, how is Cal chasing down Modric? 85th minute is 28 degrees, breaking up play. How do you do that? That level of fitness, just to keep going and going and going at that level.
I think it just goes to, like, the stuff I've done the last few years with Leeds.
Are we talking about murder ball?
Yeah, murder ball and just everything in general. We have a lot of running sessions and stuff at Leeds, and we do very high intensity work at Leeds as well. So, you know, I could only put it down to the guys at Leeds, and obviously when I come here, they help me do that as well.
We're getting some fans singing the Yorkshire Fair. For those that don't know at home, can you explain what murder ball is?
Murder ball is basically, it's 11v11. 100 mile per hour, no fouls. So if I take you out, no foul. Carry on playing, no offsides. If the ball goes out, then you either play from the keeper, one of the keepers straight away, or there's a coach on the sideline and just chucks the ball straight back in.
Who's the ref?
We don't have one. We literally don't have one. Probably the manager's probably going to be the ref, or we have like 4 or 5 different coaches, but more often than not, we don't need one.
Don't even need one. I love it. There's a quiz question I've got for you. Okay, you might not know the answer. Luckily I've got it here. Right? What do you have in common with the following players? Paul Gascoigne, Zinedine Zidane, Brian Laudrup, Del Piero, Marco van Basten. If you guys know at home, quickly get your question.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say in his first major tournament game, he's registered an assist or a
not just
goal.
In your first game, but in all time.
Yeah.
There you go. An assist in the European Championships. That's what you got in common with some huge names: Zinedine Zidane, Paul Gascoigne, Del Piero, Van Basten. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's mad.
That's nice. You know, like you don't just win the physical trophies, the emotional ones. But I've decided we're going to bring in one of our old pals, certainly the one and only, Mr. Ian Wright. Should be on the... Yeah, that's right, T.
Yo, Cal. Oh, my God.
Right, how are you?
I'm so happy, Cal. I'm so happy for you, my friend. Honestly, I was nervous for you.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers, thanks a lot. It was obviously, it was a big game, nervous moment, but I think after like 2 minutes, the first touch I got on the ball, the nerves kind of went and I just settled into the game.
Right.
What was when did you find out? Sorry, Josh. Go on. I don't want to take over.
You take the floor, mate. It's legend to legend. This is. I'm just here to be in the middle.
You know, I was going to ask Josh. I just wanted to ask Calvin. When did you actually find out you were playing, and how long that was for you to think about what you were actually going into?
To be honest, we only found out the day before, so it was the morning of the day before the game, and we did some set-piece meetings and stuff, and Gareth named the team, and I think at first, as soon as you hear your name, your heart sinks into your mouth, and you don't really know what to think. But yeah, I had a full day of thinking, oh no, am I going to mess it up or stuff like that? But then I kind of just got to grips with, it's happening, it's going to happen, so I need to be ready for it. I need to be ready for anything that comes. And when you see that you're lining up against Modric, Kovacic and other players like that, you're kind of thinking, well, you can't get any tougher than that.
Was there any time in the game where you're thinking, wow, man, this is me, bro. I'm ready for this. This is happening. Look, I saw this unbelievable meme with Terry Crews holding 3 men.
I've seen that.
Kalvin Phillips.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It was awesome. What I was explaining to people as well was people don't realise it's 2018. Yes, Bielsa turned you into that defensive holding midfielder, but for some reason people feel a little bit surprised. Leeds fans knows for many years that you can get into that area and you can make that path.
Yeah, definitely. I think, when I was younger, I was a player that scored a lot of goals when I was younger. And obviously with the new manager coming in and changing my position, he's obviously nurtured me in that way to be a lot defensive. And I always knew that I had, not the goal scoring instinct, but a room to find a pass and a room to, get into positions where I can hurt defences. And luckily, yesterday I did that.
Nice.
Right, I know.
Josh, say something.
Go on, I know about to say, you leave me out, you're taking my job away from me, right, but that's fine. What I was going to say was, I know you two linked up in Calv's old neighbourhood. This is a far cry from playing ball down the mushy, right?
Yeah, it is. When me and Wright was there, it was, it was quite an emotional thing for me, and, obviously, my gran passing as well a few weeks before. It was nice to, see a legend like Wright and, just tell him all about, when I grew up and, what happened and, the people I have around me.
I think the similarities between
That's why I put that tweet out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was a nice tweet, man. I proper love that. My family did as well.
Nah, man. Yeah, people. It's good.
Right, what I was going to say was, no worries, is I think what you two have in common is that unflinching love of football. I know, right, that you used to, you know what I mean, go and play pickup games down the local park. You used to be going down to goals. You know, you both signed professional contract. I think that's what, you know, how nice is it to still have that passion and that love for football, even when you're playing at the highest level?
You know, who are you asking, me or Cal?
It's an open question.
You go, right. You can go first.
So, you know what it is that I think that coming to the game as late as I did and then getting the opportunities, then the dream of getting to play for England and playing against top players, playing against Italy, and, you know, looking over and seeing Maldini, Cannavaro and all them lot and thinking, I cannot believe I'm here where I was when I was 22, and never losing the fact that I love football from the age of 8. Nothing changes for me. Everything about England means the world to me. And so just being able to play football, then going on to play and win stuff and then play for England is still very surreal for me. It's still very hard to kind of grasp that it all happened like that. That's why I get very excited about it. And now I can live it through people like you meet Kalvin, you meet the players and that, I can live it through them now because he loves it the same way.
What I was going to say to you, Calv, is what did you take from like that love of football, that street football, that pickup? You're playing against players 7, 8, 9, 10 years older than you. What did you take from that into your international professional football career?
I think first and foremost, just enjoy it. Like whatever moment you're in, don't let the game pass you by. Try and, you know, involve yourself in certain ways, and, you know, to just play with a smile on your face. And I feel like I've always done that. Every time you see me, obviously, you know, on the pitch, I'm quite angry on the pitch, but when I'm off it, I'm always smiling. So, and probably the physicality of it, because I used to, you know, play with people a lot older than me. They used to try and, you know, bully me. Obviously, cause
now you bully other people.
Yeah, nah. Because I signed a contract, professional contract. You know, they used to try and get stuck into me and stuff, and I used to just take it with a pinch of salt. And, you know, now, you know, I try and take that into my game and just be as physical as possible.
Both of you guys, like, I know you've obviously both play for your country. You got an assist for your country. You scored for your country. I was going to ask you what were you thinking in that moment? You jinked inside and you passed the ball to Raheem, but obviously you don't think really. Right? Is that the same with you, where a lot of these crazy moments you don't fully remember? You're just in the zone.
Well, you know something. That's what I was going to even ask Kalvin. It's like I remember being in the tunnel for the England versus Italy in Rome. And it felt like an out-of-body experience because you know the enormity of the game and all you're thinking is to make sure you don't do anything wrong. You just want to make sure that you link the play well, you hold the ball, you don't give it away. It was a feeling that you don't get unless you're in that kind of situation where I was so nervous, but I felt so prepared. I wasn't scared, but I've never felt nerves like it. I've never felt nerves like it.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I think, you know, before the game and you're in the changing room and stuff and you've got, you know, people that, you got leaders that are talking and stuff. Like, I class myself as a leader, but, like, I don't talk.
Yeah.
Like, in the changing room I never talk. Never, like, scream at the lads, try and get them pumped up. I'm in my own zone, try to get ready for the game, and, you know, maybe it's something that I need to start doing because it might make me feel a little bit better, but, yeah, I feel like, you know, I'm exactly in the same boat as Wright. I feel like, you know, you do get nervous and the first thing you're thinking is don't do anything wrong. You can't actually think like I'm going to go out there and do well. I'm going to go out there and, you know, maybe score a goal or whatever. You just think, let's start well and not do anything wrong.
For sure. This question is to both of you, I guess. I know when you spoke to the Official England podcast, spoke to Smith, and you said the first time you came down here in September, you're in the Rondo and you're looking around thinking, oh, there's some players here, and there was that moment of realization where you're like, I'm gonna have to step my game up, but I deserve to be here as well. Who were those players? And I'm going to come to you, right, and ask, was there a similar feeling when you joined up with England yourself? But first, Calv.
Yeah, it was.
First time I. Is it me or Cal? Sorry, Cal.
You know,
go on, Cal.
Calv, go, then you write it.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, sure.
I think the first day I came, we did a possession, and it was like 7v7 with a floater, and Harry Kane was a floater, but it was on one touch, and you know, there was balls getting zung in at him at like knee height, chest height, and he was just popping it off one touch with his left foot, right foot, chest, head, and I was stood in the middle because obviously he was floating around the midfield, and I was just in awe of what I was seeing. You had Jadon Sancho. I think the first 3 touches he had, he megged 4 people, which is impossible. But and there was Marcus as well, who's, you know, when he's on the ball, he runs so quick that you can't even, like, you could miss it if you blinked. So,
yeah.
you know, we've got them sort of players that, you know, in certain spaces like that, you just don't know how to do certain stuff. And, you know, the first training session I had, that was my first feeling. I was in awe of what I was seeing, and then, you know, I kind of just, after the training session, obviously, I don't know if I was trained well or bad, but kind of just thought to myself that, you know, I'm not here on merit. I'm here because I deserve to be here. So I need to show that.
100%. Right, it was that. I know there was some fantastic players when you were playing for him as well. Do you ever have one of those realisation moments?
Yeah, let me tell you, Josh. The first squad I met up was after the World Cup, and I think it was Hungary or something. And I remember I had to play in a kind of a rondo keep ball session, and the team I was against was Brian Robson, John Barnes, Gaza, and Peter Beardsley, and Steve McMahon, right? and then I remember I honestly, I've never felt so nervous, Josh. And I kept giving the ball away, and Steve McMahon kept digging me out, saying things. He was digging me out, saying things like, "How do players like that get into the squad? How do you flip the ball?" But it was just pure nerves. And I remember Brian Robson came up to me, and he said it was brilliant because he said the same to me after the FA Cup when we lost to Man United in 1990. He said, "You're more than good enough to be here. Nothing wrong with nerves. You just keep doing what you're doing, and you know what I mean. You'll prove a lot of people wrong. Don't worry." And honestly, it was literally like a godsend, him saying that to me, because I literally felt like I don't feel like I'm good enough to be here. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like I was, because like I was literally giving the ball away every touch. No one wanted to be on my team.
Right. I can't not mention the drip that you've got on, the hat, the postage stamp, Beck's T-shirt. Talk us through it.
Well, you know, listen, when England are in a tournament, man, I'm pure England, bro. England, I've got my England top just in case I'm going to pop out and stuff. It's just, you know something, I love the togetherness of everything about England when we're playing and when we're in a tournament, when we're doing well. Obviously, 96 was the last time we were here doing it, and we're fortunate enough to have a lot of the games here in England, but I just get excited about the togetherness. I just get excited about how excited it makes everybody and how together we do become. And because we don't start well, and yesterday we did start well. Phil hit the post, Raheem cut through, we could have maybe got another goal. Kalvin's unbelievable strike from the edge of the box. You know what I mean? We started really well against them, and we don't normally do that. So now that we've won, now that we started well, and we've got so much more to build on to get better, I'm just going to start pulling out the England stuff, man, from everywhere.
Right, I absolutely love it. We're gonna jump over to the fan wall. It's been a pleasure. We look forward to seeing you later on in the series as well.
Nice.
Cheers, Righty. Nice one.
Nice one, man. Check it easy.
See
All
you
the best,
soon.
Cal.
Thank you.
Nice one, Joe.
Cal, before we go to the fan wall, we've got some fan action to show you. I know the country was football mad yesterday, so when the goal went in, here's a little example of what happened. When you see stuff like that,
It's just mad because I can remember, like, you know, obviously when I was not involved in any of the England squad and stuff, whenever England were playing, me and my friends used to go either to my house or to like a place like that, and you know, it was exactly the same. I can remember one time, I think Raheem hit a shot against Italy.
In the opening game of the tournament, and it hit the side. It went in. I swear,
it went in. It did go in, and everyone just was celebrating. They had beer, just chucking beer all over and everything. So
I think I remember actually slipping over with a beer jug in my hand, hitting the deck, and getting back up, and the score hadn't changed. And I was thinking, what have I missed? Have I hit my head? What's going on? But let's go over to the fan wall. I know they've been waiting diligently. You jump over there. I'll jump over here. We're going to start off. All these guys have a question for you. I know they're big Cal fans, the big England fans, of course. So I'm going to start off with Sam from Surrey. What's your question to Cal?
Hi, Calvin. Congrats on the performance yesterday. I thought you were world class. So us Leeds fans obviously call you the Yorkshire Furlough. But growing up, who was the player you based your game off the most?
Thank you very much as well for the comment. I think, you know, when I was younger,
Prime '09, was it?
nah, there was a lot of players. There was, you know, Zidane. I think Ronaldinho is the one that comes to mind. Obviously, I don't play like him. I'm not a player that, you know, tries to replicate what he did. But, you know, I knew that he played with a smile on his face and enjoyment, and obviously I try and do that as much as possible. So I'll probably say Ronaldinho.
Appreciate it, Sam. We're going to go to Connor from Sidcup. What's your question for Cal?
Hi, Cal, mate. Well done for yesterday. I can tell you every Leeds fan is massively proud of you. And well done for adding a couple of zeros to your price tag, even though you're not going anywhere. My question for you is, what England player in the current squad would you take back with you to Leeds and why? But there's a catch. It's not allowed to be Ben White, because I know that's the easy answer.
It's an hard one, that, you know. I'd probably say Mason Mount. I feel like, you know, me and Mason obviously get on quite well, but just the way that we play, the way that he presses in his position, and, you know, some of the positions he gets himself into would suit, you know, Leeds United, and he'd probably take the manager on board. He'd take the way that the manager works on board so quickly. He'd probably be a superstar if he came to Leeds. So.
I see the cogs turning. I see all of these fans in there are loving it. Great question, Connor. We're going to go to Luke from Essex.
Hi, Cal. Nice to meet you, mate. I was just wondering, since you've been professional and everything, what's the hardest opponent you've faced, and how does it feel to have Luka Modric in the back pocket?
Cheers, mate. I think the hardest player I've faced, there's quite a few. I can remember playing Mo Salah on the first day of the Premier League when he scored a hat-trick. Kevin De Bruyne in the first game at our place against Man City, but when Riyad Mahrez was at Leicester, he was unbelievable as well. And, you know, special mentions to Kante, because, you know, obviously a lot of people said yesterday that I was all over, but, you know, I can guarantee you Kante probably runs twice as much as what I do.
Fantastic, Luke. We're going from Sam, who's in Southampton.
How you doing, Josh? Cal, you all right, mate?
Yeah, mate.
Good. What's your question?
Yeah, good. Josh, you stole my question, man. I was going to ask him about his first training session and what it was like. But I'll change it. I was going to say, like the run you made yesterday and stuff, do you ever worry, like, maybe later in the tournament, playing that final pass or making that sort of run that we're not used to seeing you doing it? Do you think the nerves or anything, or do you think you'll be able to play that killer ball and stuff and, you know, not let the nerves get to you?
It's a good question, that, to be fair. Obviously, you know, yesterday was a big moment for me. You know, I think at the start of the game, I wasn't nervous, but I think as soon as I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous at all. But I think as soon as I got a touch of the ball and that, then, you know, the nerves went out the window, and I think I was just thinking to myself, you know, during the game, just try and not do anything wrong. And, you know, I had a mad feeling before the game as well that, you know, I was going to score. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's because my mum was watching and it was her birthday as well. She was at the stadium. But, yeah, I think, you know, when I was younger, you know, I played in that position anyway. But I think for England, I just can't remember being in that position. Even yesterday, I can't remember actually doing, you know, making the assist to Raheem. So I think if I do find myself in that position, hopefully I can try
autopilot now. You know what I mean? You don't even have to be thinking. It just happens naturally. That's what we love to see.
I think if I do get myself in that position, I don't think I'm going to be nervous. I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, it's either going to be good or bad, and if not, then you've got to keep trying again.
You proved that yesterday anyway, man. Well done.
Thank you.
Appreciate yourself. We've got John and George over in Nottingham. What's your question for Cal?
Hi there. Hello, Josh. Hello, Calvin. Thanks very much for your time today, and congratulations on 3 points on the board.
Thank you.
Excellent start
Cheers.
for England. And can you send my regards to Raheem as well, just so you know where my loyalties lie. And the question comes from George.
If you could bring one England legend back into the squad, who would it be and why?
Oof, tough. Be political.
It's hard to say, you know. I feel like, you know, some of the players that I've watched over the years, and probably say it's hard to say because I'd love to play in midfield with Gerrard. I'd love to play in midfield with Paul Gascoigne. But I think it's between one of them two. I think either Gerrard or Paul Gascoigne. I know we've got, you know, a person that looks similar to Paul Gascoigne now in the squad in Phil, but I feel like if I had to choose between them, it'd probably be, I'm going to go with Steven Gerrard just because I grew up watching him, and you know I've seen how well he's done over the years with Liverpool and with England.
That's a good shout.
Listen, he might be able to do a little bit of running for you as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He might have
That's what I was thinking.
Fantastic. Now we're going to go to Ade in Salford. How you doing?
Hi, Calvin. Fantastic performance yesterday, and I wish you all the best with the England squad going forward. My question sort of centers around the psychology behind having fans on and off the pitch. So I know obviously the last season you played a lot of the games without the sort of fans in the stadiums because of the lockdown. And now here you are playing the Euros, and obviously having the fans back in the stadium. How does that affect you psychologically?
I think it's a big boost. I feel like, especially if you're at home, if we're in England, we've got a lot of fans, then, you know, it does help the team. I think in certain parts of the game, then, you know, it is a little bit difficult, say if you're trailing or if you're not playing so well, but I feel overall, with having the fans there, it gave everyone a big boost, especially me, because my family was in the stand as well. So, you know, it's a nice feeling to have everybody back, and you know, hopefully we can keep flooding more and more people in. But even if you played away as well, I think, you know, I'm a type of person that, you know, I take to playing. I love annoying away fans. I love, you know, scoring against certain teams that where the fans aren't nice to you, and you know, to give them a little bit of stick as well. So.
Fantastic question. Cal, how this works is you're going to have to compete for someone in the Lions 10 Challenge, and you have to pick your favourite question, okay? And the person whose favourite question says you compete for. All right, so is it going to be Sam from Surrey? Is it going to be Connor from Sidcup? Is it going to be Luke from Essex? Is it going to be Sam from Southampton? Is it going to be John and George from Nottingham, or Ade from Salford?
They're all very good questions, but I'm probably going to have to go with top right.
We're going to go Connor from Sidcup. Fantastic. Yeah. Listen, you are going to be with a chance of winning a signed ball, a signed shirt, and be entered into the EE Matchday prize draw. But before that, we're going to go and look at a little bbit of fan reaction from around the country.
Foden and Raheem Sterling are swapping for 5 minutes. Decent looking ball for Phillips. Got past one, then two, then plays it into Sterling! That will do nicely! England in! Raheem Sterling! But it is a hugely significant step. As England win, they're only...
you can't help it. Listen, Connor, what I'm going to do is I've actually chosen for Calv to play basketball. So what you're going to do is you're going to run over there, going to get limbered up, going to get warmed up, and I'll explain how this works. Is shoulder feeling good?
Yeah,
legs
good,
feeling
man.
good?
Yeah, good.
Fantastic.
Mate.
Right, you take a few pot shots.
That's it.
How Lions 10 works, okay? Calv has 10 balls, okay? Each ball is worth 1 point apart from the golden ball, okay? For every shot that he makes, he wins 1 point, okay? He needs 2 for the signed ball. Fantastic work already. Okay, 4 for the signed shirt. We can't count that one, Calv. Okay, come and have a look at our basketball field. It's fantastic. Calv, you don't waste all your good shots.
I'm just gonna have one more.
Okay. See, now we're not in the flow, Calv. Now we're not in the flow.
I had to miss one first.
Calv, let me explain to you how this works. Okay, there are 10 balls in this rack.
Yep.
Each ball that you make is worth 1 point.
Yeah.
The golden ball is worth 3 points, and it also enters our lucky winner into the EE Matchday prize draw. Okay, it's actually, people have been talking about my maths. It's actually a maximum points total of 12. I've been saying 13, but it is 12. All right, all you got to do is worry about draining shots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
I feel like the confidence was there before. You just sunk one. There's no need. Okay, just go into that zone. You know, jinked in from the left, played in Sterling. Just it's pure focus.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, Connor from Sid Cup is waiting to collect the signed ball and the signed shirt and also the EE Matchday prize. We've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah,
We've got Rashford on at second place with 8 points, okay? Oh, 7 points, actually. Yeah. Okay, DCL's on 8. I feel like you can beat DCL. If anyone's going to beat him in this entire squad, let me tell you, it's going to be Calv.
Are you putting too much pressure on me now?
Ice in the veins, baby. Ice in the veins.
Yeah?
All right, the time starts now. There's actually no timer.
No timer?
No, there's no timer.
All right, I'll take my time then.
Don't take too much, ain't got all day. That's fine, that's fine. Still got 9 more attempts.
Started to
There's a lot of wind.
Yeah, I know.
Calv, that is nothing but net. That's one, halfway to the signed ball. Ain't nothing but net over here. This is clinical. This is clutch play. Oh, you can't get any closer than that. That's fine.
God.
We need 1 more for the signed ball.
I'm just swishing it.
Ain't nothing but net. That's pure swish. Is it Steph Curry over here? Change your hairstyle or what? We've got the signed ball. Fantastic, Connor. You're going up. Hey, don't. Let's a little tiny bit short, but that's fine. All we need is 2 more for the signed shirt. Right. Connor's already got the signed ball.
I'm going to do it for you, man.
Oh my gosh, what is going on here? It's defying physics and gravity. We're on 3. We've got 1 more for the signed shirt. And that's the signed shirt. Connor, fantastic. We've got the signed shirt and the signed ball. How many? Oh, wow. Okay. We're heading towards DCL's total. So I feel like you can climb up the leaderboard. Let's go. We've got 4. And that's 4! I don't know what to say about that.
I can't believe that's missed.
That's Foden off the post, that.
Yeah.
Here we go, Cal. Come on. You got this. I've got faith.
No, missed.
That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Because guess what? We're on 4. And the money ball, which is worth 3,
how many
is in your hands.
8.
Dom got 8. Unfortunately, we can't get 8. We can match Marcus's score, who scored with the money ball on the last go.
Did he?
Clutch.
Yeah?
He did this. This is bragging rights in England camp.
Marcus all over, isn't it?
Clutch Calv. Clutch Calv. Oh! It's so close. It's so close. There you go. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. Do you know what? Because we've got the signed ball and the signed shirt. Total of 4 points. Let's take a look at our little leaderboard, okay? You currently are 3rd in the leaderboard, behind Dom and Marcus. But that's fine because they're probably two of the best players. You know what I mean? 2 of the best basketball players in the squad.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But we also have another poll. Okay, the poll was who had the best matchday England setup. Okay, and I can tell you. Let's take a look at those results on the screen now. I can tell you. We have Gemma with 9% of the vote. James with 13% of the vote. Louis with 27% of the vote. And then Rich, who had the paddling pool with a solid 51% of the vote. So Rich wins the signed Trippier shirt. That's fantastic work.
Yeah, that's good.
Not only is Connor going home with the ball and the shirt, Rich is also going home with probably a brand new paddling pool after that. And he's going over with Trippier's shirt. It's been an absolute pleasure, but stay there because you listen, this everyone who comes on the show, everyone who comes on the show gets their own lines then cap. I don't want to see this hanging around. I don't want to see it hanging around the camp. I want to see it on the top of your head. How does it look? Yeah, his head's a little bit big.
Head's massive.
There we go. See, modelled by Calv. There you go. Doesn't he suit everything? And on that note, guys, it's been a pleasure. We are back tomorrow, same time. See you again.